Give me a minute here to make sure that it's streaming. And here we go. Oh, title. January 2025 business meeting. Okay, go live. Okay, good. Well, that was a little bit, oops, there we go. Okay, why is Grant in a big screen here for me? Let me see why.
I
There
have
we go.
no idea.
That's okay. We got you. I got you figured out. Okay, January 2025 business meeting, Glenside. Thanks for all of you joining. I always I won't try and say it's going to short meeting, but we would always hope that it would be, right? Um, first things first, Brian. Um, let me see. Yeah, Brian Weisler. Uh, I was not at the December meeting, so I didn't know if you had meeting minutes from that meeting or not.
I did. We did go over them and we did approve them, but we can review them here if you want.
No, I meant me. I meant minutes. I'm sorry. I meant minutes of the December meeting to go over this meeting.
Oh, yes, I do. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Sorry. I guess I was thinking maybe you wanted to review
No,
November.
no. If you guys
Okay.
did it, then we're done. I don't have to be there for it.
Okay.
I'm good.
Yeah, let me go ahead and share here.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, last month's meeting was kind of short and sweet. Oh, I mean, I did go full hour though, but wasn't a lot of content, just a lot of discussion there. Oops, not sure where that zero came from. So we start out the meeting with reading of the minutes, and Richard, after reviewing them, John Mark made a motion. Richard approved. I seconded it. All in favor was all. Um, Jim was unable to be available last month, so we did not have a treasurer's meeting. So from there, we moved on to old business. John Mark just stated that him and Grant B are still continuing to work on the programming challenge that they want to do at Cocoa Fest. And then we just had a short little reminder of everybody about Cocoa Fest, the virtual Cocoa Fest, excuse me, that we're going to have here later this month, actually just in a few weeks, here in January. Then from there, we moved on to some new business. Grant Lady was on with us, and he gave a short update with Cocoa Fest, stating that there would be 58-foot tables and 46-foot tables available, and that once the menu was finalized, he would be posting about the meals on or the meal for Saturday or for Cocoa Fest.
Oh, Brian,
Yes.
that's that those were it's $50 for the 8-foot tables, $40 for the 6-foot
Oh,
tables.
was that dollars? Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Thank you. I must not have wrote that down. For some reason, I was thinking that was afterwards. I was thinking that was um, number of. Sorry. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Um, and then the only additional new business that we had was John Mark started a discussion about the club maybe doing some kind of a charity donation, being the holiday and all, maybe doing something for a group or a project for maybe a nonprofit, maybe volunteering time, maybe doing some work for their websites or maybe projects that they have. It was just kind of an open discussion amongst the members that were on the call, just different things and just, maybe just being in the spirit of the holiday and maybe volunteering your time, whether it's something we do with the club or just yourself. So it was just a nice conversation that we had.
Okay.
And then with that, John Mark made a motion to close the meeting, where I approved, Richard seconded it, and we were all in favor, and we ended at 8:15.
Okay. Sounds good. Well, cool. Okay. Well, I have. So obviously I'm still getting the hang of of the treasure stuff because that's not really my forte. But I will give you a rundown of where our treasury is right at the moment, just so everybody is aware. Um, Oh,
One second though. Do we need to approve?
yes, you're right. You're right. Sorry, my bad. I was getting ahead of myself. So,
Mhm.
any comments or concerns over the January or sorry, the December meeting minutes?
Nothing here.
Okay. Anyone else?
All looks good to me.
Okay. Well, then I'd love to entertain a motion to approve the December minutes.
Motion to
I make,
approve.
Okay. There's a motion
a second.
and there's a second. Um, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Aye.
Good deal. Brian, it does bring up another point. We've got a couple of the old, I know it's at this point, it's probably more just a formality, but have you had any chance to get back and get some of those old meeting minutes taken care of so we could review those, or is that still upcoming?
No, that's still upcoming.
Okay.
Yep. I've been trying to make sure I carve some time just to get these done each month, and I've been able to stay on top of that. But yeah, I do need to work on getting some of those gaps there.
Okay. Okay. So for as of the end of December, let me go back here from a treasurer's report standpoint. I'll try to get this in a little bit better format for the next meeting. I'm trying to figure out all the pieces of the various systems we have. So right now I'll just have to give everybody verbally. But currently we have just a hair under $17,000 in our business savings account. So $16,995.46 as of end of December. And then we do have a checking account with $406.53. And you know what? I'll get you a total here. And then on excuse me, on PayPal, we have uh, we have right now everything's transferred out of our PayPal account and into our checking and savings. There's an automatic movement over there, as far as I can tell. So let me just get the roll up here, but just a tad for our total, it's just a tad over $17,000 in our treasury right now. The only expense we had in December was a payment for the excuse me, a payment for the website from DigitalOcean for $15.70. That was our only debit in there. And then on the plus side, of course, we didn't expect much to be going on in excuse me in December because we don't have tables open yet and the registration and whatnot. But we did get a little bit of money every month. We get about $44 in interest credit by having our money in this account. So we've got 44.64 came in from having that $17,000 in our environment, or sorry, in our savings and checking account. So it was 15 we paid out, and to 44 we got in. So we actually, just having the money in the account actually we were net positive for the month, even though we had an expense. And the total is let me put these numbers in here real quick and get you a full total. We've got $16,995.46, and give me the second one here. We've got 406.53, 406.53, and the total is $17,401.99. So, any questions on that?
What's our interest rate on that savings account?
That's a good question.
I was just wondering if it's one of those high yield rates.
I think when he set it up, it was a deal where you got like this really good, it's like 4% or something like that.
Okay.
It didn't last. It's not going to last forever, if I remember correctly. It's only good for a year, and then it goes back to some really small number. But still, 4% even for a year is not a bad deal. Sorry, what did you say?
Oh, so that's better than nothing.
I know. I wasn't expecting anything because so kudos to kudos to Eric for finding this option to pursue because I mean anymore at least for my I don't know about everybody else but for my personal uh, uh, savings and checking account I mean it's a place to hold your money but you don't I never expected to actually see anything in the interest line from either one of my accounts so seeing for almost $45 consistently every month um, from from interest is really surprising. So
I heard somebody comment that they were going to register when it's available though, but they said they went ahead and paid like they signed up for the dues and stuff like that. But like when a person, if they want to pay dues or if they pay for registration for Cocoa Fest, what? Just out of curiosity, what's the flow for that? Is our website tied to PayPal and then PayPal is that the flow? Okay.
it is.
Yeah.
I'll go look at PayPal and see if that's in there. I'm not seeing it in the ledger right now, but I admit I'm still getting comfortable with PayPal portion. The 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 bank portion is easy. The bank website is pretty. I mean, it's no big deal. But I've had trouble getting into the PayPal site, so so I might have missed a transaction, but um, but I don't see that anything is transferred into our
Okay.
into our savings or checking account over the last month except the interest.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, and I usually, when someone does that, I usually get an email sent to my my registration account when somebody purchases a membership or something, and I have not received anything.
Okay. Well, maybe I misunderstood what they said.
Well,
They
they
were talking.
also they also I think there's an option to send a check too. So
Mhm.
Okay.
that might be there. That might be how they pursued it. And if they did, then I forget where their checks are, where the checks are emailed to. Do you know, Grant?
No, I do not. That would probably be an Eric question. I don't know if they go to his,
Yeah.
because we never get a PO box, did we? So where is our mailing address set to?
Well, one of them set to Rich, who's on here, but I don't I don't think that stuff comes to Rich's address. So that's a good thing I didn't think about. So I will find out what address we've got set up for people to send checks to and make sure it's the right one. Okay.
Richard, did you have a question?
Yes, I do. And forgive me if it's already broad knowledge because I've missed a lot of meetings lately. Eric didn't want to be reelected as treasurer. And when I deal with the feds once a year to make sure we're still okay as a nonprofit, I have to give a list of major officers in the club. And I'm wondering what I'm going to do if we still don't have a permanent treasurer by that time, because that could be a warning signal to the feds.
Fair. I mean, I've obviously I'm always continuing to search for someone who wants to fulfill the role. Um, for the moment, I'm handling it. So I suppose we could put our name. A lot of times groups have a combined secretary treasurer role. I've seen that done in the past. I know Brian's not interested in doing that, but a lot of times those two roles are doubled up. So I don't know that it'll be that problematic if we double up roles in our filing for this year. I would like to see someone else be the treasurer just because I mean I'm okay with doing treasurer stuff, but I think it's a bit of conflict of interest to have the president and the treasurer be the same person, right?
Yeah, I agree.
So so it's not really I mean I'll try to be as transparent as possible, but generally speaking, I don't think it's the best option, and so I'm hopeful that somebody will step up. So always open for ideas. If folks want to suggest somebody, I'm happy to reach out to them.
Thank you.
Okay, no problem. Any questions about our current treasury balance and what monies we have?
Nope, I think we're good on that. So I'll make a motion to approve
A
the
second?
treasury report.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
I'll second.
Okay, Greg does.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Me.
Who's
Oh,
me?
not opposed.
Oh,
Thanks, Tony.
it's
I was just a little bit late. Sorry.
okay.
Tony would make a good treasury. We need to put him in there.
Yeah, Tony, you want to do treasury? You've done everything else probably. Were you ever treasurer, Tony?
Uh, I don't know. Not for Glenside, I don't think. Although I worked with him.
Hmm.
Well, I
Brian,
had
you
to as president.
Brian Goers, you interested in picking it up again?
No, I'm not.
I figured you'd retired from that.
Yeah.
That's okay. We'll keep looking. And Rich, I see that they say it's okay to send in the Form 990 right now. So if you tell me what you need that Eric provided last year, I'll get it from the website for you.
I'm not clear what your question is.
When you file the Form 990 every year, is there anything that you need to, is there any like financial information that you need to put
No,
on there? Okay.
there's no financial information at all, much to my surprise. All they want is a list of officers
Okay.
and a couple of affirmations that you, I don't know, have a
Okay.
website or something like that.
That's okay. I assume you've seen the emails that came in recently. There's something that sent us emails, a couple of them saying, reminder, you can fill your Form 990. Did you happen to get those emails?
I did not know.
Okay. I will take a note because I was assuming that you got the emails, but I will forward them on to you and then make sure your email address is working, because you're supposed to be, any email that comes to the officers should come to you. So, but I will
Yeah,
send you those.
that raises another question.
Hmm.
Eric is not treasurer anymore, but is he still managing our website and stuff like that?
He's still
Yes.
he's still managing the website. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Yep. The website and that stuff is still him. It's just I've taken over the like the bank website and the PayPal site and stuff like that.
I see.
Yep. Yeah, let's really hope he doesn't want to give up the website thing, because I mean, it's okay if somebody else wants to do it and he wants to step away, but I'm not taking on the website. I could probably wrangle the treasurer stuff for a little bit, but the website stuff is that requires somebody that
Well,
enjoys that.
well, Jim, we need to discuss my retirement of Cocoa Fest here because I'm getting pretty old and need to retire. So
Cute.
you might be taking that over too.
Yeah, you look old, right? You look so old. Anyway, so a motion carries. December treasury report. Like I said earlier, so there's we have the Tandy Retro Show coming up. As Brian Weasler noted, we have that coming up on the 25th of the month. um, so I was unfortunately under the weather for a good portion of November and December, so I'm running late. But Mark and I'm hoping between the two of us we can get everything updated this week, and I'll send out some more communications to make sure folks know it's there. I know we have a number of folks who are already signed up for presentations, but Grant and Brian, I know Saturday's coming up, and if I'm not able to join the Coco Nation show, if one of you two could make sure that folks know that if they're wanting to do a presentation, because I think there's like maybe 2 slots open left, if they're wanting to do a presentation, they really need to get their information in. Even if they're still working on it, they need to get information into us like this week.
Yeah, Marco gave an update last week
Okay.
on Cocoa Fest, and I want to say that Rick Euland I think took one of the two, so I think there might only be one opening left now.
Okay. Well, I might be wrong. There might be 2 after Rick took his. I don't know, but
okay.
there's not a lot, and I want to I mean, he may open up some more. It depends on whether people want a half an hour or hour slot, but
Right.
But I definitely want to make sure that that everybody who wants to participate gets their name in the hat this next week, because we're going to start finalizing the schedule, and I don't want people coming at the end and saying, well, I wanted to be 10 o'clock in the morning. And I'm like, yeah, well, I didn't even know you wanted to do a presentation. So, I mean, seriously, we've, at least I know we've been talking about it quite a bit. So it's not like nobody knew. Anyway, so I should have the website updated, and I'm hoping Mark can help me get the schedule put out there so everybody can see what's coming up here in the end of January. So that's all there probably is on the Tandy Retro Show because I don't see Mark here tonight. But Grant is here with Cocoa Fest update. Correct, Grant?
So not really much to update as of yet. I will be meeting with the hotel here later. Excuse me, in 2 weeks. I will be meeting. So we'll be finalizing the meals. Looks like we're going to be doing lasagna and Italian type meal. So and we're looking at about $50 a plate is what they're looking at. So it's amazing how food prices keep on going up, up, and up. So
Oh,
getting crazy. But anyway, so that's what we're looking at there. Registration will open up on February 1st. We're delayed it a little bit because Randy is working on a big update on the back end for when people make changes for tables and so forth. So therefore, it won't be so much of manual work on Gemini. But as of last week, I mean, as of last month, the tables are going to go for $50 for the 8 foot, $40 for the 6 foot tables, and then $30 for the overflow and hallway tables. So that's what we're looking at for those prices. So things will really start cranking up here on February 1st when people start registering. We have several speakers already lined up already, which I'm kind of surprised. So, and I'll be working with you, Brian. I'll get in touch with you, Brian, because I'm going to have you help me get people's bios and everything so we can get that put onto the website. So I'll talk to you about that later. But other than that, that's pretty much it. So that's where we're at. So
okay.
so things will start cooking here pretty quick here starting next month.
Okay. Well, we'll plug it. We'll on the Tandy Retro Show. We'll obviously, hope maybe Mark has access to a bumper. Do we have a bumper like thing for Cocoa Fest in the TCN or?
I don't know. I'll have to ask them see if they got one made for this year.
Because by golly, if we have one already, I'm sure it doesn't have all the graphics and everything, but if we have anything, we should run it during the Tandy Retro Show just for
Yeah.
advertising.
And that reminds me too, I need to reach out to about our t-shirts too as well and our badges.
Right.
So I'll do a follow-up on that too. So
Okay.
all right.
Well, good.
With the Cocoa Fest being on Friday and Saturday, is the meal still going to be Saturday?
Yeah, meals will still be
Okay.
Saturday night.
Hopefully this works out. I'm cautiously excited for a all day Friday, all day Saturday fest with a Sunday just being able to just, break down and head out. Hope it works out.
Yeah, me too. Because I think it'll make it a lot less stressful for everybody.
Okay. Well, we should definitely get to, and I know this is probably more of a formality because I know you and I had previously talked about it, but like I mentioned before the meeting started, the only projector that the club had was this just ancient. It was just this enormous ancient thing that we auctioned off as part of the big auction off down, like it was in late 2021, where we kind of cleaned out all of the stuff that the club was kind of hanging on to. And since that time, we've kind of relied on other people, and as some of you know, we the folks that put on the Midwest Vintage Computer Festival Midwest allow us to borrow some of the equipment that they use, like some microphones and power strips and whatnot, and along with that projection equipment as well. But Grant and Randy had indicated that borrowing things leaves some to be desired because you're never sure exactly what capabilities the thing is going to have, and you're also not really sure what shape it's in, as well as how powerful it is. And the room we project in right now is it's not a completely darkened room, and so having having a powerful projector is a good thing. And then the other one is we really are short on space for the projection, and so we really don't want just a normal projector that you have to put like 10 feet behind in order to get the projection. What is ideal is what's called a short throw projector, which is one you can put right up near the screen, takes up very little room, and then projects this really vibrant image on the screen so that everybody can see it. So Randy sent some options. I looked at some options on Projector Central. The projectors are what was the price range for those? It seemed like they were in the 800 to so range.
Yeah,
Grant, is that correct?
800 to 950, I think so it was.
Okay, so we do have a standing $500 kind of kitty cash for the club to use for Cocoa Fest for Grant to buy stuff like lanyards and stuff like that. This is a little bit above that, but I really think it's a good purchase. So I know I'm probably selling it more than Grant maybe should be selling it, but I think it's a good idea for us to purchase a projector. And so I was hoping that that we could take some of the money. Like I said, we have $17,000 in the treasury. Take about $1,000 of that and uh, uh, and get a projector. Get one of these short throw, bright 1,000 or 5,000 or 4,000 lumen projectors for the fest.
Yeah, and the other thing too, it seems like we always get these used projectors, which means we, spend $300 to $400 on these projectors that are hand downs, and then, 3 years they're no longer working. So it'll be nice to have a brand new one that will probably last us hopefully for, you know, 10 plus years. So I would say we probably need to set the budget for like $1,000 plus taxes. That's probably what we need to look at. So
Okay.
Jim, are you going to get a screen with that as well?
I believe the venue has screens.
yes, that's true.
So I don't think we need to get a screen for this. Just the projector. But I mean, if you want to consider the screen, the only challenge I have with the screen, I mean, I don't philosophically have an issue with us buying a screen. Storage wise is where we kind of have a problem. The projector is pretty compact, especially the new ones, and we can. So another thing that Jason Timmons and the VCF Midwest crew do is they allow us to store some of our stuff in their warehouse. So we try to be pretty sensitive to how much we ask them to store every year, and we got rid of a whole bunch of stuff. I think we just have a couple boxes of like manuals and stuff and whatnot that we ask to store, and like a Club Coco 3 that used to be part of a BBS, I think, setup. Screens are kind of bulky, and so I'm a little leery of buying a screen if we don't have to, just because then we need to find a place to store it, and I'm worried that it might push us over the welcome mat on being able to store it at the warehouse.
Well, as long as we have one available or made available to us, then I mean, getting the screen would be irrelevant.
Yeah. Well, and not that, I mean, if a screen, I know a screen is available at this venue, but let's say in the future we had to go to a different venue and we didn't have a screen. Borrowing a screen has a little bit of the same issue in that, what if the person forgets it and whatnot. But the good news is it typically doesn't have any of the other issues that I talked about. Like old screens tend to work just as well as new ones, and screens typically don't break. And what was I going to say? And screens don't have to be bright or not bright. They just have to be reflective enough. And most of the screens I've ever seen have been fine. So if we do need to borrow one at a future venue, then it wouldn't be nearly as much of a concern as borrowing the projector. So unfortunately, I don't have a motion on the floor yet. So Grant, you want to put a motion on the floor?
Yep, I will make a motion to purchase projector for the price of $1,000 or less plus taxes.
Why don't we just do 1,100 because that's 10% tax? Surely
Okay,
that
works.
That way it's just a number and you got it. Is there a second?
I'll
Second it.
Okay.
Oh, Brian second.
One of the Brians. Pick whichever one you want, Brian Weasler. Any additional comments or concerns? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any
Aye.
opposed? Any opposed? Okay, well, Grant,
I will go ahead and get that purchased, and
go forth
I'll
and
let
buy
you.
a projector.
I'll let you know when to move the money over to the. Because I like to try out that debit card I got too, make sure that works for
Well,
Cocoa Fest. So
that's fine.
be a good test for that.
Well, yeah, let me know if you have problems, and I'll have to I'll have to sort it out. I don't know what part of the day I don't know what I'm doing here on the treasurer stuff. So,
No problem.
any other new business? Okay, it's kind of a quiet month. I do appreciate everybody attending, and I hope everybody can make some time to visit the Tandy Retro Show here on the 25th. That's about what, 3 weeks from now? Is that right? Am I doing the right math here? Maybe 2 weeks? Yep, 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
3 weeks. 3 weeks and 2 days. It will stream on our YouTube page or YouTube site, I guess, or whatever. And if we can figure out how to get it to post to Facebook, like I'm streaming to Facebook tonight, but they made it way more painful than it used to be. So if we can get it streaming to Facebook, we'll do that. So you should be able to catch it at least one, if not both of those places, as well as I believe it's going to be streaming on Coco Nation's area as well. So we should have it covered everywhere. But hopefully we'll see everybody then. And if there's nothing else, I'd love a motion to close the meeting, and we'll shut
I
it down.
have one little thing I'll just say.
Oh,
If anybody has any ideas of things they want to see or do at Cocoa Fest this year, just reach out to me either through email or on the Discord, and we can talk about that, because I'm just trying to get some more ideas, try to make things a little bit different this year than in years past. So like maybe a trivia night or something like that, we could do that. So just be thinking of some things that we could probably do different for Cocoa Fest, and just let me know. That's
okay.
all I had to say.
Okay, cool.
Motion to adjourn.
Okay,
And I will second that.
Greg motion, Grant seconds. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Wow, we got this done in 35 minutes.
I know.
It's a
Well,
record.
I'm getting better. Getting better. And one of these days I'll have it figured out.
One thing too, since Richard's here, are we thinking about ever doing anything with those bylaws and getting those changed, or?
Rich, what do you want to do? You want to work on those?
That is a hornet's nest.
We probably ought to, but I don't know. It's there's some baggage there, but I think we
Yes.
should, because like for one, like the newsletter, we don't really publish the newsletter regularly anymore, and that's a problem. And it would be nice to simplify some other aspects of it. So I'll put a note down. Maybe after Cocoa Fest this year, maybe Rich and I can get together and see if there's an easy way to do this, or at least bring something to the club to look at.
No, we could just get rid of all the bylaws altogether and make some new ones from scratch too.
We could. We will see. But I will tell you that I'm not interested in, right now at least, I'm not interested in doing anything until after Cocoa Fest.
Sounds like a deal.
Okay.
All right, cool.